What's up, guys? How's it going? I want to cover a short topic for today. It is going to be a sport specific topic, and the reason why I want to do this is because I'm sure you guys must have also seen this online a lot, and it's these videos where a lot of professional athletes and all athletes of all different calibers and all different, throughout the spectrum, combat athletes of throughout the spectrum, you see them do these drills where they will tie up a resistance band behind them, right? They distract a resistance band behind them, and they are doing these punching drills in front of them, right? And I want to help you guys understand why you shouldn't be doing that at all. So let's talk about the overarching theme first, so that we can necessitate the need for this video. Why are we making this video? And we are making this video because the overarching theme here is that what is training, and I kind of talk about this in all of my videos. Training is an activity that is constrained by time, first of all, right? You are allocating a certain amount of time where you're telling yourself that I'm going to do things, that I'm going to put some different kinds of stimulus on the body, and then the body is going to respond and make changes. It is going to adapt to those changes. And ideally, the changes that you make, you want them to be aligned with the objective that you're trying to accomplish, which is basically the sport and the demand that the sport imposes on you. You want your training to meet those demands. You want your training to bring about adaptations in your body that can help you meet the demands of your sport better, right? One of the demands of sport, right, is to think about, one of the things that we do when we understand what the demand of the sport is we want to think about how does force manifest in our sport, right? What kind of force are we supposed to produce in our sport? And different sports have different ways in which force manifests in that, right? And one of the primary things that you think about when you think about how is force manifesting in my sport is to think about what am I resisting against? What is the, like, your sport, you are participating in it, what is the other system, what is the other external resistance that you are trying to overcome with your muscular force, or that you are trying to yield to with your muscular force. A very simple example of this would be powerlifting. Like, let's say something in powerlifting, we know that the external resistance or the external resistance that we are creating muscular force against is super heavy in nature. So it makes sense that in training you train with super heavy weights, that you improve your ability to produce maximum amount of muscular force to resist against or yield to, yield, yield. For some reason I just can't pronounce that word properly. So yield to super heavy, external resistance. Now if you think about something like table tennis or badminton, is it the same? Or in those sports, or even kicking a football, right? In those activities, if you think about the external resistance against which we are using our limbs to create force, are we supposed to produce the maximum amount of strength? No, because there is negligible external resistance, right? Because when we swing a TT bat, or when we swing a badminton racket, or when we swing our leg to hit a football, the external resistance that we are producing this muscular force against is super negligible, right? So then it basically becomes about speed, right? How fast can I move that limb? How fast can I swing my leg? How fast can I swing my racket, right? So it makes sense that in training you improve your limbs' ability to move fast, right? To move at the maximum amount of speed possible, what is also known as maximum velocity. And you can do this practice for whatever sport you're playing. So let's tie this all back to boxing in combat sports. Understand that in combat sports as well, what am I resisting against? Is there like a super heavy resistance that I'm punching against, right? Am I trying to punch against like a very heavy person and push them back slowly? Is there like a door in front of me that I'm trying to punch against? No, there's nothing, there's air. Until my hand reaches the target, I'm not resisting against anything. So what does it become about? What does my training become about? I need to improve my hand's ability to move fast, right? To get from point A to point B quickly. That's what it is about. And from point A to point B being your opponent's face or your opponent's body or the target, there's no external resistance that you're resisting against or yielding to. So you improve your hands, improve your arms' ability to move fast, improve this limb's ability to move at maximum velocity, right? And whatever that maximum velocity is, whatever that ceiling is for you, you try to push that ceiling up, right? If you want to push that ceiling up, where does the elastic band fit in there? Nowhere, right? What the elastic band, when you tie it behind you and you're resisting against this is a nature of external resistance, right? If you think about it, what am I doing? Think about the screen as an environment, right? I've got me, the person who is training. This is my training environment. This is the external resistance that I'm trying to create force against. What is the nature of this resistance? Understand that when it is, like, let's say when my hand is at resting length, when it is right here, the elastic resistance is negligible. As my hand stretches out, the elastic resistance increases, right? It's at the peak when my hand is completely stretched out. And as I come back, the elastic resistance again decreases here. Does that happen in boxing ever? When I'm boxing with somebody, when does that ever happen? When I'm at my full length, is something pulling me back? There's nothing pulling me back. So that is the inherent kind of disconnect between the use of a band and what the sport demands from you. It would make much more sense if you improve your arm's ability to move fast. How do you do that? The sport itself is going to take care of that. It's a fine motor skill, so as you box more, as your ability to box more improves, you are going to become a better boxer. Your arm's ability to move faster is going to improve. But you can also think about all different kinds of stimuli that you can put on your arm that also demands like a speed, that imposes a speed demand on your arm. Things like throwing light objects fast, right? Things like doing very lightly loaded bench presses, right? Anything that moves your arm fast. Landmine presses that are very lightly loaded, where you can move your arm fast. Med ball throws, med ball passes, chest passes, all these different kinds of stimuli that is going to help you improve your arm's ability to move fast are much better training decisions to make that will help you make the adaptation. What is the adaptation that you're going after here? That the demand that your sport is imposing on you is a speed demand, right? You want your arm to get from target A to target B super fast. So what do you do in training? You do speed training. It's as simple as that. You improve your arm's ability to move fast, throw things fast, lift things fast, punch fast, right? And punch with light objects fast. Do those things. There are much better training options than using a band and trying to punch with that. The only case, right, we have to make a case for the bands as well. So the only case where somebody can realize progress from tying up a band behind them and punching forward like that is going to be when that person is absolutely a beginner to training. When they are absolutely not exposed to training or the sport at all, only then will they make progress by doing this thing. Because when you are, that's just because of a physiological principle. Because when you are the most exposed to training, you can pretty much, for a very short while, you can pretty much do anything in progress, right? Since you have not put any kind of a training stimulus on your body, any stimulus that you do put on your body, the body is going to positively react to it. But that honeymoon period of training lasts for a very short while, and after that you will objectively need to do things that are principally correct and that are required, right? You cannot do random things and just hope to make progress. And this absolutely sucks, because it's not beginners to training that we see doing these band resisted drills. It's professional athletes. It's amateur athletes that are very advanced in their motor skill, right? It's trained boxers. We see them tie up bands behind them and do band resistant drills all the time. But for you guys as well, I'm not a boxing coach, but I can help you understand that time is a very valuable resource. You only have a finite amount of time, and what you are essentially doing when you are training is that you want to make adaptations emerge. The changes that you desire is constrained by the decisions that you make in this finite amount of time that is available to you. So you have to be making good decisions no matter what level of proficiency or experience that you are at. And as experienced that you are, the more it doesn't make sense for you to do these stupid drills where you're tying up a band behind you and punching forward. Because the nature of your sport, in your sport, the demand that your sport imposes on you, the external resistance in your sport that you are creating muscular force against, is not elastic in nature. So why are you training that elastic force, training your ability to resist against elastic force? When you tie up a band behind you and you do these drills, the only thing that is improving is your ability to tie up a band behind you and do these drills. Your ability to box is not improving, right? If it is improving, it is either a placebo effect, it is either that you believe it is improving, or it is some kind of an interference effect that the other things that you're doing in training are actually helping you and you're oblivious to the fact. So these are just things, some things that you want to think about, right? As athletes, as coaches. The overarching theme here, that is what I want to conclude this video with, is that you got to understand that you got to be making good training decisions because you are constrained by time. Alright.